If successful, the Washington Post reports that as many as 7,000 out of a total pool of 7,500 admissions would be set aside for Afrikaners. The refugee cap of 125,000 admissions annually under the previous Biden administration, including refugees from the DRC and Afghanistan, has since been shelved under President Trump. The Post report followed a recent New York Times piece that the Trump administration was considering a radical overhaul of the US refugee system that would slash the program to its bare bones while giving preference to English speakers, white South Africans, and Europeans who opposed migration. In an unexpected reversal, the White House says a meeting punted by President Trump between himself and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Budapest, Hungary, would no longer go ahead in the immediate future. Trump announced the meeting after a call with Putin less than a week ago, and 2 months after a summit between the two leaders in Alaska yielded no significant breakthroughs. The meeting was reportedly put on hold after Moscow rejected efforts towards an immediate ceasefire with Ukraine amid continued territorial disputes.
I don't want to have a wasted meeting. I don't want to have a waste of time, so I'll see what happens. But we did all of these great deals, great peace deals. They're all peace deals, agreements, solid agreements, every one of them. But this one, and I said, go to the line of battle, on the battlefield lines, and you pull back and you go home, and everybody take some time off because you got two countries that are killing each other.
The International Court of Justice has found that Israel has an obligation under international human rights law to respect, protect and fulfill the human rights of the population of the occupied Palestinian territory, including through the presence and activities of the United Nations, international organizations and third states. The Hague-based World Court rendered its advisory opinion in response to a UN General Assembly request on Israel's obligations to facilitate aid to Palestinians after Israel banned the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees from operating in its territory. The court also found the information before it was not sufficient to establish UNRWA's lack of neutrality, a central premise by Israel to justify legislation banning the agency.
The court considers that Israel is under an obligation to agree to and facilitate relief schemes provided by the United Nations and its entities, including UNRWA. In particular, the fact that the OIOS investigation in 2024 led to the dismissal of 9 members of UNRWA personnel due to their possible involvement in the 7 October 2023 Hamas-led attacks against Israel, is insufficient to support a conclusion that UNRWA as a whole is not a neutral organization. In addition, the court finds that Israel has not substantiated its allegations that a significant part of UNRWA employees are members of Hamas or other terrorist factions.
The UN chief on Wednesday marked the 75th anniversary of the World Meteorological Organization, describing it as a shining example of science supporting humanity, while delivering a clear message that global warming was pushing the planet to the brink, urging countries to develop early warning systems.
One thing is already clear. We will not be able to contain the global warming below 1.5 degrees in the next few years. The overshooting is now inevitable, which means that we're going to have a period, bigger or smaller, with higher or lower intensity above 1.5 degrees in the years to come.
And finally, 3 independent UN human rights experts have condemned what they frame as coercive interventions in Venezuela by the United States, further accusing Washington of violating that country's sovereignty and the UN Charter. In a statement, 3 special rapporteurs warned that lethal force by the US against alleged narco-traffickers in international waters without a proper legal basis amounted to extrajudicial killings in violation of international law. This amid reports that the US struck yet another vessel late Tuesday, this time in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Colombia. More than 30 people have since been killed in those strikes. The Trump administration says it's targeting drug cartels that the State Department has designated as terrorist organizations. Sherman Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.